Welcome back to Kim Daly TV. So would you agree with me that if your passion for what you're doing is high, that you're more likely to be successful? I think you would. I think a lot of us would generally say that passion and success typically go together. So in this video, I want to talk about 3 simple ways to help you find more passion in the day-to-day, daily grind of running your business. So yes, even when you are a business owner, you're going to find yourself waking up in the grind. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but success happens over time, in time, by being consistent with specific activities. Well, whenever we have to show up repeatedly over and over and over, especially when we have to show up and we're not seeing the result of our efforts, it becomes a grind. That's why people quit the gym. Because they're going, the scale isn't moving, they're like, I'm doing all the right things and nothing is happening and this grind sucks, I'm not doing it anymore. Well, the same thing happens in business ownership. You find yourself waking up, showing up, facing objections, facing negative situations, you're not getting the result that you want, you find yourself in this kind of daily grind and you lose your passion for your business. But that is a choice. So in this video, I want to help you see how passion can come from within you naturally when you learn to control your focus and a couple of other things. So if you're new to my channel, hello and welcome. My name is Kim Daly. I'm a franchise consultant. And for the last 2 decades of my life, I have been helping people just like you say yes to the dream to own a business by matching your background, interests, skills, finances, and life goals to some of the best franchise opportunities out there today. So if you get inspired and you would love my help, I would love to help you. Stay tuned to the end of the video and I will explain how you can be my next candidate. Okay, so let's talk about this daily grind, the D-A-L-Y, not the D-A-I-L-Y. That's what the rest of the world is doing. By watching this video, I'm going to teach you about the D-A-L-Y. This is the special grind, the grind that increases passion, that then increases your success rates. Why am I so passionate about this topic? Because I live it every single day in my business as a franchise consultant. I have had to learn how to control my mindset, how to focus on the right things instead of the wrong things in order to show up and to be more effective and to produce a better result in my business. And so it's from my own experience that I'm offering you this advice. So do with it as you will, but let's talk about the 3 simple ways to increase the passion for your business and therefore increase the potential success of your business. So the first one I want to focus on is what I've already said, and that's controlling your focus. So there's so many things in a business to think about and that can kind of steal our focus or our attention, especially those things that we do not expect. So you walk into the office, you're in a good mood, you open your inbox and there's a negative email and all of a sudden you're knocked off course. Or you walk into the office, somebody called in sick and now you're in a little bit of a crunch and you're knocked off course. So all this reaction that you're doing, this reactionary energy knocks us off of our balance and can throw our mindset out of whack. So if you want to increase the passion for your business, you as the owner have to discipline yourself to stand strong in the midst of that storm. Now, I'm going to tell you this advice I'm giving to you is easy to say, but it is not easy to always live it. I get, man, when you come into the office and you were not expecting something to happen and you were expecting to have a good day and you lose a client or you lose an employee or again, you open that inbox and something there catches you off guard. It's not how you thought the day was going to go. And for some people, this is the beginning of the downward spiral. In fact, for most people, that's what happens. Now you take your positive energy and it's spun to something negative. You start reacting. And how many of us are really that good when we're in that reactionary attitude, none of us, and then you start making decisions or responding to even positive things happening in your business from that same negative core place. And so that negative core place can become the set point with which you work your business from if you are not incredibly aware that that can happen to you. And the reason that that is important is the world, the universe is a mirror. And this mirror is not paying attention to the activity, to the action. It's paying attention to the sponsoring thought behind the action. So what I mean by that is you could be doing all of the right things in your business, but if you're doing it from a place inside of you that is frustrated or mad or feels left out or feels like you're getting ripped off or feels like everything is going wrong or you're worried about debt. And so that is kind of the core focus inside of you. That is what the energy that will come back to you will reflect, because the world is a mirror. Remember that law of attraction, right? That what you're sending out will come back. It's all vibration. So the reason that the first thing you have to do to increase the passion in your business is to check your focus, to do this sort of attitude check. And you have to do it every single day. And sometimes you have to do it multiple times in a day. Some days are just more challenging than others. And this is why business ownership is such a head game. It's won in our head before it's won in the actual business, because what's happening in your head is the energy with which you're going to send out into the world. And that energy that you're sending out into the world then is the energy that you're going to receive back, because we always reap what we sow. So we want to sow abundant seeds. We want to sow loving seeds. We want to sow giving seeds. We want to sow positive, abundant seeds. We want to sow thoughts that are wrapped in expectancy and hope and faith. That's where we want to create from, because that's our power. So when you walk into the office and you get knocked off course, and now you start finding yourself reacting, you need to go into your office or you need to leave the office and you need to find your center. You need to take a few minutes to yourself, center yourself, quiet your mind, put on some good music, whatever you need to do, know yourself to get back to your happy, abundant, life is good state, and then go back into the office feeling in control. That feeling of control that then drives you to make positive decisions, that drives you to then face a customer with a true smile on your face. That when somebody says, "How are you, Kim Daly?" and you say, "I'm amazing," and they're like, "Wow, that's so good," and you actually mean it. That's how I want you to show up and to give. When you're serving from that place, I'm telling you, you are planting amazing seeds. And when you plant amazing seeds, the only thing that can come back to you are amazing results, because that is the law. What you reap, you must sow. So that's going to be number one, controlling your focus. The second thing that you can do to increase the passion in your business is to make your business a simple game that you cannot lose. So this is one of the things that I did that first year back in 2011 when I went from average performing to history making in 12 months. I grew my business by over 350% in 12 months. It defies the odds. It's kind of miraculous. Well, how did I do that? I did it by making my business a simple game and by showing up every single day to play that game. Now, when you're showing up to play a game, how do you show up? You're in a good mood. You're ready. You feel a little competitive, a little sussy. And that energy is fun and it's playful. And when you bring that fun, playful energy to sales calls, to a team meeting, to the entire environment inside your store or inside your office, imagine what that does to every single person that you engage with that day. Okay, so how do you make your business a game? Well, this is easy. So you have your annual goal, and I want you to jack up that goal. That's another way to increase the passion. Make your goals so big, because if you don't have a goal, how do you even know what you're aiming for? And the bigger that goal, the more passion you're going to have, because imagine if you get it. Okay, so you have this big annual goal. Now, you're going to reverse engineer all of the KPIs down to the daily bite-sized goals. So that means, let's do this quickly. You have $1 million goal for the year, and you sell a widget that is on average a ticket of $5,000. So that means 5,000 into $1 million is I have 200 customers and I have $1 million. Okay, so you need 200 customers paying you $5,000, and you have this $1 million top line revenue business. Okay, so now divide the 200 customers into the number of months that you're working. So in the equation I typically use, I'm going to give you 4 weeks of vacation away from either driving sales or physically close your business even for 4 weeks of the year. If you don't have a brick and mortar store, you might be able to do that. And so I'm going to have you build your daily sales plan off of only 48 weeks out of 52. Okay, now during the week, there are 7 days. So your business may operate 7 days, but I'm only going to drive the sales plan on 5 out of 7 days. So 5 days a week times 48 weeks gives us a bank of 248 days to play with. Okay, so over here we have $1 million goal. We have a $5,000 average ticket. We need 200 customers. And over here, we've created a bank of days that we're going to work. That was 248 days. So basically, what I've just done is created a daily plan. So if every day I show up to work, I sell one customer a widget on average totaling $5,000, and I do that 5 days a week for 48 weeks, boom, I have $1 million business. So don't tell me it can't be done, okay? So that's the simple plan, reverse engineered down to how I have to show up today. Now there's one more part to this KPI. How hard do I have to work to get that one sale? So now we need closing ratios, or if you're in a business where you're retaining customers, like something in a membership, then you're going to be focused on that retention rate, okay? For this example, we're going to pretend that we're selling a $5,000 widget, okay? So what's the closing ratio? Meaning, how many sales calls do I go on typically to get the one sale? Let's say that you're 1 out of 3. Okay, so we have a 5-day work week coming up. So if we're 1 out of 3 and we want to close one sale per day, that means we need 15 appointments on the books. Now we need to show up, do 3 sales calls each day of the week, close 1 out of those 3 for an average ticket of $5,000. And at the end of each day that we do that, we can call that a W. Now, here's the thing. So I didn't even have this plan the first year that I made history in my franchise. It was actually the second year that I had these numbers and I was able to reverse engineer what I did to then create a science and execute to that science. So I'm giving you the science again, which is from my own learning experiences. But here's the thing. When you look back over the course of that first year that I made history doing over 350% more revenue in 12 months, I was only 80% effective at my daily win. Okay, so 80% effective made me a history maker. So what is she saying here? What I'm saying is perfection is not the goal. What is? Consistency. Just like when you wanted to lose weight, what's the best way to get in shape when I was a personal trainer? Showing up consistently, right? The same thing for your business goals. So I want you to turn your day-to-day focus into this game. And the way that you're going to play it where you cannot lose is where you're dialed into just to today. That was another mindset shift that I had. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed with that $1 million goal that seems, unreachable because nobody in your franchise has ever done it. Discipline your thoughts. Stay focused on today because today is all you have. And if you don't execute today, there isn't going to be a tomorrow at some point. So this is the daily focus I need you to have. And here's the thing. When you start showing up every single day, entirely dedicated to the present moment today, that alone is going to increase your passion because it's not so overwhelming, especially if you start planting the seeds every single day. I need 3 appointments on the book. So you're not just thinking about today because you're booking appointments for tomorrow and the next day and the next day, but you're showing up today to execute on those 3 sales calls and to win 1. So when you break it down like this, a couple of things are happening. When you show up on that sales call and you hear no, you don't get in the fetal position and start whining and moaning and then carry the negative energy from that sales call into the next one. You realize, oh, 2/3 of the time today, I'm going to hear no. And so you hear no, like water on a duck's back, it rolls right off and you move on. Whenever you're in a sales environment, the one expression you must carry with you is, some will, some won't, so what? I learned that years ago, and that saves me a lot of time from, again, keeping my mindset from what isn't going right to what is going right. Remember, 2/3 of the time you're gonna hear no, and that means your process is going right. So it's all the discipline in your mindset of how you're thinking about what's happening. And you show up the next day for all 3 appointments and everybody says no, then we might have a problem. But even then, it's not a huge problem unless you let that continue to happen. So now we got to dial in on the sales process. So maybe we take a day off from selling and we get together with our sales team, we get a good sales book, or we hire a sales coach and we break down our sales process and we figure out how can we either prospect for better people, because maybe that's the thing, you're just not getting in front of the right avatar for what you're selling, or how do we help people help themselves? Because if they're asking you to show up at their house or to sell them something and they're saying no, that's on you, not on them, because they want to say yes. So you have to help them say yes. And that's a sales coaching thing. Again, as long as you're starting to take ownership of the process in time and over time, you're going to refine what you do, get better at what you do, and you're going to start collecting the W's. And those daily wins are going to start to create momentum. And that positive momentum is what's going to jack up your attitude. So that's going to be the second way to very simply increase your passion for your business. And that one alone will 100% increase the likelihood of massive success at the end of the year if you stay consistent, focusing in on those daily wins. Okay, and the third simple way, potentially increase the success of your business, is to make sure that you, as the owner, as the CEO, as the creator of the reality of this environment that is your business, is to make sure that you are growing. Growing? Yes, personally and professionally. The financial growth only happens as a result of your own personal and professional growth. That's the number one thing that is wrong with earnings claims in the franchise industry, is people open these FDDs, they go right to the item 19, they look at numbers on a piece of paper, and it implies to them, I'm going to invest this money and I'm going to make this money. And that is fundamentally flawed. Nothing could be further from the truth. The truth is, when you grow as the owner that you need to be, going back to number 2, refining your sales process, hiring a sales coach, looking at your KPIs, thinking about your business in terms of what you can control, what is yours to control, your attitude, how you show up, how quickly you're changing your mindset and your focus and focusing on the good things and the positive things, not reactionary things. All of these things are yours to control. And that's your job as the owner. But all of these things may require you to undergo some personal and professional growth. Well, when you think back over the course of your life, some of the hardest years of your life, were they also the best years of your life? There's a reason that the hardest years of our lives typically are the ones that we look back on with the fondest memories and say, wow, that was a really hard year, but it was a really awesome year. You know why? Because the point of life is growth. And when things are hard, we grow. I don't know why business owners are so afraid of failure. Failure is only final if you quit. But in order to really grow, things have to be going wrong. and so that's why business ownership is like the greatest playground for personal development, because things are going to go wrong every single day of your life. And so it's how you learn to get up when you fall down. And it's how you learn to wipe off your knees and wipe away your tears and get back in the game, and how quickly you get back in that game and genuinely find your center and put on that happy face. And it's not a fake smile, it's a real smile, because you know how to be in control of what you're doing. The faster you get back to that place when things go wrong, well, the faster your business is going to start to go really right. And so you're going to find yourself in times where it's going to feel like every single person you come into contact with wants what you have, and every employee is referring a friend, and now you've got a line of people who want to work for you outside the door. This is the daily grind that I want you to find by increasing the passion in very simple ways. So this third one, where you have to always be professionally and personally growing, it is really a fundamental truth of business ownership. If you think that you can invest in a business, especially because it's plug and play, and just let it do its thing, and it never requires you to grow, well, again, you are leading yourself to failure. You are trying to defy the laws of the principles of success. How well would it work for you if you tried to defy the law of gravity? Not so well, right? Gravity is going to act on you whether you want it to or not. Well, there are principal laws of success governed by the universe, and they cannot be broken. And these laws must be followed. And what I'm trying to teach you is how to use these laws to your advantage without getting too sciencey and getting into all of what they are. I'm giving you the simplistic definitions that you can grasp. So immerse yourself in growth, whether that means reading every day. I do that. I audible almost every single day when I'm at the gym. Whether it means maybe even creating a book club with your employees. How fun would that be to start a little book club? And I mean, not just like flowery books. I mean, books that have to do either with growth in your industry, or maybe growth in your sales process, or how about growth in your leadership? How about reading a book on leadership with your entire team? And then having a discussion group with them and making everybody in that group feel like a leader in some way. Because imagine if they showed up for your business and they felt like a leader of their department, or a leader of a small team, or a leader of their own life. How they're going to start showing up for you. Well, when they're doing that, that allows you to like step back a little bit, knowing that you've given your team everything they need to be successful, and that's going to translate to your success. So a book of the month club with your team is an awesome way. If you want to join a mastermind, that's something that I personally also do. So find what works for you, but the idea is that, remember, you must be growing personally and professionally. Sometimes people who start a business also may find themselves desiring to hire a personal trainer and to get into the gym. It's very common, right? That when your mind starts growing toward business ownership, you also start craving growth in other areas of your life, like getting in shape, getting your health back. So if that's what you need to do, do that. Because when you start changing your body, there is no better way, in Kim Daly's opinion, to change your mindset than by changing your body. And that's 100% going to trickle into your business and impact your business in very positive ways. So find what works for you. But the idea is that you must be growing. If you want to know what the law is that I'm talking about, it's called the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. And that is that energy is always moving. You cannot be staying the same. Life is either growing or it's dying. And so you as an owner are either growing or you're dying. There's no such thing as trying to remain where you are. Business ownership, business in general, doesn't stay the same. The competition is changing. The market is changing. Everything must be growing and changing. This is a dynamic environment, and you must also be a dynamic person who's growing and changing with it. And hopefully, because you're growing and changing, you are the one who is causing the change in the business, causing that change in a positive light, spinning it to what you want, spinning it to this happy, passionate, abundant place where good things happen for your team, for your customers, and also for your bank account. So I hope that you have enjoyed these 3 simple ways that anyone out there watching, even if you're not a business owner, you can imagine being a business owner like this. And if you are a business owner, these are 3 simple ways that you can embrace how to increase passion in your day-to-day life, in your daily grind, so that you can wake up and be living your grandest dreams through that business. That is what I want for you. That's what you want for you. Now, if you are inspired to begin your journey to find the perfect franchise to help you wake up and have more passion in your daily grind, well, you know that I would love to be your franchise consultant. So thank you for watching to the end of the video. All you have to do is find the link in the description below. Contact me using my form, and I will reach right out to you to begin that conversation. Thank you so much for finding me. God bless you. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.